You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a town of both shadow and substance. You've just crossed over into Silent Hill.
Meet James Sunderland, an ordinary man with an extraordinary burden. A letter from his deceased wife Mary has led him to this forsaken town. But this is no ordinary place. It is a realm where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blur, and where the past refuses to stay buried in Silent Hill. Back in the 80s, there was a little show called The Twilight Zone. I watched late at night as a kid, and it was a black and white American fantasy science fiction horror anthology from 1959. In each episode, Rod Serling would lead viewers into a spine-tingling story that stayed with them long after the credits ended. Especially me, since I was just a kid watching these scary black and white episodes when I probably should have been watching cartoons or something. I'm not a person who is easily scared, but there are episodes of The Twilight Zone that are still fresh in my mind all these years later, haunting my dreams and my waking hours with their visuals as well as their ideas. I think this is a power of great media, something that just lives in your head for the rest of your life after you see it. One episode that reminded me of Silent Hill and of James' situation is the Twilight Zone episode Judgment Night, in which a man named Carl Lenzer is trapped on a British ship during World War II, doomed to relieve its sinking by a German U-boat as punishment for his past actions. In the world of video games, the only thing that has had the same effect on me is Silent Hill 2. This game is a masterpiece that I have quite a lot of history with, and one that every single gamer should experience at some point, even though it'll live in the back of their mind and haunt their dreams like it does for me. My personal experience with Silent Hill 2 goes back to my time in the US Navy Seabees. I can't remember if I bought it when I was stationed in Oahu, Hawaii, or when I got back to Gulfport, Mississippi, but I do remember that I was an adult the first time I played it. Despite that, booting up my PS2 and sitting in front of my Toshiba CRT with my controller in hand made me feel like that small, scared kid who stayed up late to watch The Twilight Zone so many years ago. I forced myself to play in the dark so I could be completely immersed, which probably didn't help. The ambient noises, the fog, the fear of the unknown, everything about Silent Hill 2 filled me with dread and an icy chill I could feel in my bones. It made me feel like there was some twisted nightmare creature watching me from the corner of my room. Just talking about those memories is starting to creep me out now. So let's move on to talk about the game's development. Silent Hill 2 was developed by Konami's Team Silent, the team of devs who were responsible for creating the first 4 Silent Hill games. Team Silent was led by writer Hiroyuki Oku, sound director / composer Akira Yamaoka, and art director Masahiro Ito.
あれ実際に腕が入ってるんですけど、上からラバーのようなもので包まれて腕が自由に効かないっていうのを表現したんですけど、あれは最初にあれを思いついた時はですね、知り合いのプログラマーの人が当時僕の席に遊びに来てたんですけど、日本のジャージでポッケに手を入れるジャージがあるじゃないですか、ほっかむやつみたいな。そこになんか手入れてこんなことしながらちょっとそのノリノリな気分で来たわけですよ。 でその動きを見てなんかそこからヒントを得てこう発想したんですけどね。
Every member of Team Silent contributed to the game's eternal success, but I have to call out Akira Yamaoka specifically. The music he created for all of these games has gone down in video game history as some of the best, and Silent Hill just wouldn't be Silent Hill without this music. The emotion each track evokes works with the game's visual to create a one-of-a-kind experience that other games have tried to replicate, but have never successfully accomplished.
僕が自分でサウンドをクリエイトする時って特にその映画を見たり何かのサウンドを聞いてインスピレーションっていうのは僕はあまりそういうのはないんですね。自分で作りたいと思ってサウンド、ギター持って例えば、こう弾いて自分の中で納得するまで時間をかけて作るっていうことですかね。そうですね。きっかけっていうのは特になくて、テーマソングに関して言えば3日間ぐらいずっと家にずっと弾いていたっていうのはあります。
I will play a few Silent Hill 2 tracks from Akira and other tracks from other games as well. When you're done, come back and let me know what your favorite Silent Hill song is in the comments. The team was disbanded in 2005 in the first of a Konami's string of terrible business decisions, but they managed to create some of the most iconic games in the industry's history between 1999 and 2004. Work on developing Silent Hill 2 began as soon as the first Silent Hill game was completed. The leap in technology between the PS1 and PS2 gave Team Silent more room to develop the visuals that would go on to haunt our dreams. In interviews, members of Team Silent specifically mentioned the PS2 hardware, allowing them to create the shadow and fog effects that they wanted to but weren't able to create in the first Silent Hill. Speaking of the first Silent Hill, it's important to know that the concept for the game and its location was entirely created by Team Silent. According to members of the team, it wasn't inspired by any real place, even though some people have suggested it. Now, when it comes to the first Silent Hill movie from 2006, that was inspired in its visuals and location by the real city of Centralia, Pennsylvania, where an underground coal fire has burned for decades, causing the town to fill with smoke. Just don't confuse the game and the movie, because Masahiro Ito is tired of correcting people.
Hi, my name is Taro. I'm a director of CGI visual of Silent Hill 2. It should be totally different from Silent Hill.
The groundbreaking story for Silent Hill 2 was created by the CGI director Takeyoshi Sato, who was inspired by the novel Crime and Punishment. The iconic visuals were inspired by the work of a variety of directors, including David Cronenberg, David Fincher, David Lynch, and Alfred Hitchcock.
You! It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who stepped on my hand.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
What's a little girl like you doing here anyway?
Huh? Are you blind or something?
The game's story follows James Sunderland, an allegedly loving, devoted husband who goes to Silent Hill to look for his wife, Mary. Along the way, he meets Maria, a woman who looks suspiciously like his wife, a troubled, traumatized teenager named Angela, a bullied, homeless young man named Eddie, and an innocent little girl named Laura, who doesn't see the same horrors everyone else does in Silent Hill. However, what everyone truly remembers, the terrifying monsters of Silent Hill 2, all came from the mind of Masahiro Ito. His concept for Silent Hill 2's creatures was soured flesh that also incorporated an element of humanity. We're gonna go talk about why the monsters look the way they do, and what they represent now, which brings us to spoiler territory. If you plan to experience Silent Hill 2 fresh when the remake comes out later this year, then skip ahead a little bit. All of the monsters in every Silent Hill game are representations and manifestations of the main character's inner struggles. In the case of Silent Hill 2, they represent James Sunderland's various sins and regrets. For instance, the Bubblehead nurses represent James's sexual frustration due to his wife's illness. According to Masahiro Ito, their Bubblehead appearance comes from the vinyl mask filled with liquid, which is meant to resemble a condom. Those are Ito's words, not mine. And also how James killed his wife by suffocating her. That also explains the nurse's erratic, jerky movements. Another example is Silent Hill 2's legendary villain, Pyramid Head. This monster chases James for the whole game because he is an executioner, the only thing that will punish James for what he did to his wife. It's a manifestation of his guilt, which he literally runs away from the entire time. Despite Pyramid Head seemingly like the game's main bad guy, he's not actually the final boss fight. More spoilers for people who haven't played Silent Hill 2 incoming. I was shocked when I found myself fighting the horrifying Silent Hill version of Mary.
I understand now. It's time to end this nightmare.
No! I won't let you. You deserve to die too, James!
Which is Maria, or vice versa, depending on what ending you get. Locked into her hospital bed, just like she was at the end of her life, Maria, or Mary, attacks James with tentacles that whip and strangle. It's very unsettling. But after that final fight, players are shown one of the 6 different endings, based on decisions they made and things they did or didn't do during the game. 4 are legitimate endings, and 2 are joke endings. But the joke ones are my favorite. Seeing a dog control everything in Silent Hill or aliens abduct James is just the kind of silliness I needed to avoid some serious nightmares after finishing off this game. I did get the Leave ending, which is considered hard to get and is the best ending to the game. There are certain criteria you must meet, like recover your health as soon as it drops in an excess of 200% HP in total, listen to the entire sickbed conversation of Mary and James in the hallway before the final boss. So there's more you gotta do, but those are the 2 I'm gonna share with you. For this video, I replayed Silent Hill 2 from the HD Collection on my Xbox Series X. There are some notable differences between the original release and the Xbox One, which was the HD remaster, especially the voice acting. Now, the one I played is the original, or you can try the new voices, but it's mostly the same experience I remember from the PS2 days. Word of advice also, don't play on very easy, which is way too easy. I'd say go for normal, which you're going to get plenty of health and ammunition. Hard is good also if you want a challenge, since the health items and ammo will be scarce. Lastly, I still prefer playing on the PlayStation 2 version, but only because it is a lot of nostalgia for me. Give this one a try as well. Before we drive into the sunset, let's check up on James. In the end, Silent Hill is more than just a place. It's a state of mind. a realm where the living and the dead, the past and the present, all converge. James Sunderland has crossed into Silent Hill, but the truth will set him free. With the letter in his hand, James is ready to live his life. No longer alone. Together, James and Laura leave, finding peace beyond the borders of Silent Hill. Now, will Bloober Team's Silent Hill 2 remake be able to make me feel the same feelings? Only time will tell. But what about you? Are you excited for the remake? Are you a fan of the original? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the Gaming Road Warrior for more content like this. Take care and remember, gaming is your road to adventure.